Hello everybody, this is Cameron Snow from Danomics.com. So today I want to give you all a brief tour of our Production Insights platform, which is a decline curve analysis and economics forecasting package. I'll be showing you the major features and how to get a project up and running so you can sign up for a demo and get started on your own. First of all of our software is cloud hosted and delivered via the web browser, so you'll need either something like Google Chrome or Microsoft Edge before you can get started. So here you'll see that I have the Google Chrome web browser open and I'm at Danomics.com's homepage. So if you're not yet a customer, just click on Create Account and then type in your work email address, password, and click Create Account, and you'll receive a verification email within a couple of minutes that'll activate your account. If you don't receive this email, please check your junk or spam folders, as sometimes our emails do get miscategorized or potentially blocked by your IT department. If you're already a customer, just click on Login. And so once you log in, you'll be taken to the Production Insights platform. So you should see two windows when you log in. One is a projects area and the other is a large empty pane. So if you've already built a few projects, you'll see these showing up here to the left, as well as all your databases. If you've not yet started a project, don't worry, I'll show you how to do that here in a minute. What I want you to do is I want you to very quickly just see what a project looks like once it's already up and running and populated. So this is what you should expect. So here we have a map window that shows all our wells with cumulative production pi bubbles. For the selected well, it shows the oil and gas production in green and red respectively. And here in this dashed black line is our production forecast. You have the decline curve parameters, which you can manually override here to the left, as well as all your summary statistics, such as your EURs, your 3, 6, and 12-month cum production, and your MPVs, your IRRs, and your remaining MPV for the wedge of the tail here. So why don't we get started here with a new project? So to do this, all you do is come over here and File and say, let's upload some data first. We're going to upload. And I'm going to call this first database here wells. So I'm going to say choose file. And I'm going to select a IHS 297 file. And I'm going to click open and click OK. So depending on the speed of your internet connection, this process should take between 30 seconds and 1 minute total. Right now, you'll see that I'm uploading around 3,500 wells. That's a file that's around 30 to 40 megabytes in size. So I just took a few seconds there to upload. The other type of file that we'll need to upload is we'll need to upload our IHS production file. And these are just the standard files that you would export from your Interdeck browser. So you should have access to those through your company. If not, I'm sure your geotech can help you out there. So now that we've got our wells file loaded here, we can see it's appeared in our database list. Next, we're going to go back to the same place. We're going to call this production. We're going to choose a file, and we're going to choose the corresponding production file here. These files are usually a little bit smaller than the well header files, so the upload will be a little bit quicker and the processing time will be a little bit faster as well. So once this file uploads here in a second, and we can see we're about halfway through with that now, what we'll want to do is come over here to File, and we'll say New Decline Curve Analysis, and we're going to name this as Linked in Demo, and hit OK. And this will open up a new blank project. So what we'll do is we'll come over here and we'll select the two new databases we created. That's our wells database, and this is our Eagleford production database. And we'll just click on a well to get started. And so here we see we have our decline forecast for oil. We have our gas phase shown here. What we'll need to do is we'll need to zoom over to where these wells are located. This project is focused on the Eagleford Formation. So as we zoom in, we can see that we have around 3,500 wells. We have the well sticks that are shown at present. So let's zoom in a bit here to where we can see some of the individual pads. You can either flip to satellite view, and you can actually zoom in, and you can see the well pads that they're drilling off of here, or you can just keep that in map view. It's up to you. If you want to see the production bubbles like we saw earlier, just click on Show Bubbles. And now you'll see that, we see our oil and gas cumulative production bubble pies. And we have full Google Maps integration, so all the controls here should be very familiar to you if you've ever used that product. So you're probably not interested in seeing all 3,500 wells. You probably want to filter these down to the wells that are relevant to you, and you probably also want to customize your analysis. So after we've selected our database, what I like to do next is I like to come over here to our analysis options, and if you're on the technical side, you're probably going to want to update some of your QIs. You're probably going to constrain your B factors. We also have some options here that are probably going to be a little new to you if you've never used this before. We have 3 options for how to choose the start date: best fit, first decline, and max. So best fit, what that does is that's designed to really try and help you when you're focused on late life production data. So if you're interested in looking at, let's say, the remaining reserves a company may have, or PDP reserves of a certain well, best fit is what I like to go for there. First decline comes in handy if you're working areas where you have a flat production plateau like the Utica or Marcellus. And then max, that's a simple one, but it starts at the maximum observed production rate and then declines out from there. So once you have that set, it's often useful to come in here and filter the wells. You can filter by things like spud date. You can come in here and filter by cumulative production. So, maybe you want to get rid of wells that don't have any production reported at all. And you can see the map and the well list automatically update, as well as your well count. So for this analysis, let's say we only want to look at wells that have a GOR of less than 2,500 and maybe a lateral length of greater than 5,000 feet. And, let's say we also only want to look at wells from the Eagleford Formation, which is what a majority of the wells are in this project. So at this point, you can see we filter down to a set of around 1,100 wells. You can come in here now, and you can just use let's say the down arrow, and you can scroll through a number of wells here in the well list and inspect the quality of fit. And if you see a well that maybe you want to update, you can just come over here, and you can automatically update the parameters to try and get a fit that you think is a little bit better. So there's a few options I also want to show you up here on the decline curve itself. Depending on your preferences, you might want to look at this in log scale as opposed to linear scale. And if you want to zoom in on it, just turn off extended time here, and now you can see a real zoom in on the well that's being forecast. You'll also notice that we have a multi-well decline curve here. So if we click on multi-well, and I'm just going to set a few options here because I personally like to see the production lines as well as seeing this on log scale. And you'll see here we have our P10, P50, and P90, and that's going from highest to lowest here for the group of wells that we're showing. This may be a bit too broad, so if you want to come over here and further restrict this, the wells will be filtered automatically, and you'll see within a few seconds your multi-well type curve should be set up. Finally, the last thing here is our economics. You'll see here it says, please activate economics. So once again, you just come over to the controls area, you click on economics, you can input the parameters that are relevant to your wells, and you'll get a full accounting view. You'll also notice now that the economic parameters are populated here in our statistics area. So at this point, it's a good time to click File, Save.